Was told to correct
And again that their decisions was the result of much prayer and fasting. She knows how to garner sympathy from others by knowing how to cry at the drop of a dime and fool almost anyone in sight. Don't let her tears fool you. They're designed to play with your emotions so that you can be on her side. She's very good at gathering people on her side to feel sorry for her. As for the Ahab spirit, it is known to abdicate his authority. It bespeaks of a mindset that avoids confrontation and denies fault. The spirit of Ahab is very weak and fearful. It loves its position. If you get between Jezebel and the person she is trying to control, she'll attack you viciously, trying her best to destroy your relationship with that person. She will, even though often powerfully gifted of the Lord, the Jezebel will frequently operate in the false discernment of the enemy by speaking words of knowledge gained from familiar spirits and not from the Spirit of God. This is witchcraft. The power of witchcraft is derived from Satan himself. Every attempt at manipulation or control sells out more to Satan and strengthens the deception the Jezebel is under. The Jezebel is extremely bossy by nature, though subtly with the low-profile type. She is easily offended if her authority is questioned, and will often respond with extreme anger at even the slightest of. She is expert at developing soul ties and often does so. As previously mentioned, Jezebel will use any tool available to manipulate those around her to do her will. She often uses fear to manipulate people into submission. Jezebel is very possessive and domineering. She wants to control you. Jezebel loves power. Give me, give me, give me. You see, money is not really the issue with this spirit. It's power and authority that she's after. She likes to be in control of your life because she draws her strength from controlling you. That's why you feel spiritually drained after contending with her. The Jezebel principality wants to control you. She uses self-pity and her own weaknesses to manipulate another into submitting to her out of compassion or pity. She will even use prayer to manipulate the one she is attempting to control, especially prayers prayed audibly over that person to create the illusion that doing Jezebel's will is actually obeying God, or to generate fear or other emotion within the person, which the Jezebel can use for the manipulation.
Spirit has a seducing spirit and is very lustful and can tempt somebody into gross sin and error through seduction, fornication, or adultery. The Jezebel spirit is embarrassingly self-centered and demands to be the center of attention. It's almost impossible for a person ruled by the spirit to take a back seat. So it's inevitable that they'll be calculating, pushy, domineering, insubordinate, and they'll stoop to using flattery as a means to an end. And by the way,
set you up and to separate you from her victim.
A person under the influence of a Jezebel spirit will be very capable of giving prophecies, prognostications, visions, and dreams. And that's why we have to be so very discerning. In fact, the gift of the discerning of spirits is mandatory for our times, and certainly mandatory for detecting a Jezebel spirit, or for that matter, any other kind of evil spirit. He said, "And unto the angel of the church in Thyatira write, these things say the Son of God. I know your works, your love, your service, your faith, your patience. But nevertheless, I have a few things against you, because you allow that woman Jezebel, who calls herself a prophetess, to teach and beguile my servants to commit sexual immorality and to eat things sacrificed unto idols." And he says, I gave her space to repent of her fornication, but she didn't repent. Jesus goes on here to refer to her doctrine as the depths of Satan. But he promises that whoever will overcome Jezebel will receive power, authority over the nations, as well as receiving the morning star, which is idiom of Jesus himself. So it's important to study this passage and to understand why the Lord rebuked the church at Thyatira and its leader for tolerating the immorality and idolatry promoted by a false prophetess in the church, whom Jesus called Jezebel.